welcome back to Bourbon's Best. I'm here with boxing and acting legend, Sylvester Stallone. Hey, Sly.
Hey, nice to meet you, man, yeah.
Who affected who more? Was it Rocky Balboa and Sylvester Stallone, or Sylvester Stallone and Rocky Balboa?
For 50%, yeah, if I was gonna go like Rocky, baby, so Stallone, yeah.
Let's talk about the scene where you drank the eggs.
The A's, and you do it, yeah, I don't know, so you drink it, you just do what you gotta do, don't move.
No, I'm hearing that the soundtrack is being done by Michael McDonald. And you wanna punch him in the face? 1, 2, off a cut, left, right.
Oh, it's amazing, the Doobie Brothers and all that jibba-do music.
What?
If I and you do no name, box score?
Start trading now.
I don't know a lot about sports, but I can drink a lot of beer.
My motto is simple. C's get degrees.
Need a long, inappropriate hug? I'm your man.
I think I'm smarter than you, because I probably am.
Howard Coward for box score.
Hey, hello, and welcome to the Box Score. I'm Brock in Los Angeles, joined by the Dennets in Milford, Connecticut. Guys, Dan got a surprise call late in the third hour from former ESPN superstar Bill Simmons. Now, to refresh everyone's memory, Simmons and ESPN parted ways after he came on your show with a pretty fired-up call about Goodell not having the testicular fortitude. Now, he downplayed your show's part in the separation, but Paulie, knowing ESPN, how much an effect did the show have on on Simmons' outcome?
Well, to be clear, it wasn't because he was on our show. It's what Bill said on our show. That being said, I could imagine when the boss of ESPN heard about the comments Bill Simmons said on our show that day, and he probably said, where did he say it? Or he was told where he said it, and that wouldn't help. Let's put it that way. I mean, he didn't say it on Mike and Mike. You know, they wouldn't put him on and do that kind of topic. But the fact that that was part of it definitely didn't tip it either way, but it sure didn't help.
It seems like it was like the last straw. Like, oh,
Yes,
okay, you know
there's no
what?
doubt.
Screw this.
As Bill said, it was inevitable. It was going that way anyway. He had talked to Dan about his future way before this. Like, Bill knew he was no longer going to be at ESPN. It was probably Bill's choice. If Bill chose to, he'd still be there. Don't buy this aloof, oh, yeah, whatever happens. Bill's a smart guy, and he's got a plan. And if he wanted to be at ESPN right now, he'd still be entrenched.
Seton, does Dan want to be responsible for the Simmons-ESPN breakup?
Man, does he want to be? I don't know if he wants to be. I don't think he minds that his name is attached to it. I think he gets kind of a kick out of that and sort of fanning the flames a little bit of an old, what's the word I'm looking for, grudge maybe? So I think he enjoys it, but I don't think he wants to.
All right, well, Simmons is focused on the good that came out of the breakup with ESPN and talked about life after the mothership.
I've said it a million times. I had a great run. It was a great place to work for a long time. I have no ill feelings toward there. Now it's fun. Like, I'm just a sports fan. I can complain about the same things everyone else complains about, and I can praise the same things everyone else prays about. It's interesting to just be able to see, you know, not be in that mix anymore and see how certain things are handled, you know, and for better or worse.
Much as a number of us have done in our careers, Bill's one of those guys where if you're talented, creative, you have something to offer. There is life outside of the four letters ESPN, and he's moved on, and he's got a nice big position at HBO. He's doing, he's working on like documentaries and things like that with HBO, and he just seems a lot more refreshed and is like born again with his enthusiasm and excitement about what lies ahead. And again, it shows that there is life and a career after Bristol.
McLovin, what is Simmons' legacy at ESPN?
I think his legacy is really the first ESPN.com superstar. He sort of ushered in the digital age to ESPN. Well, that's not fair because ESPN had a successful site before him. But he came to ESPN.com, had the popular column, turned that into a popular podcast, and then turned that popularity into 30 for 30, which is, I know it's a TV product, but it sort of feels like a digital product. He brought ESPN into the new, hipper aged in my mind.
Was he really there to have like a legacy at ESPN though? Like if you were in 20 years to tell the story of ESPN, there's going to be people that you mention and people that you don't. I don't know how big of a part he plays in that big picture, you know?
Yeah, I agree. I think his legacy at ESPN would be 30 for 30. He co-created that, and that is going to go on forever. That is a brand that's going to be going on pretty much forever in sports, as long as they have stories. But I think he is the first superstar that under that mom's basement blogger category.
Yeah.
Because when Bill first came out, he was this Boston guy who never even had a picture. He had a drawing as his picture. He didn't have his own picture. Nobody knew what he looked like. I knew very little about him, and I worked at ESPN. We couldn't get a hold of him. It took me like 2 days to get his number one time. And then he became a superstar in a very non-traditional manner. I think it's almost like he's to me is like the Justin Bieber of sports. He's a guy who had a YouTube video and he became the biggest thing in the world. This is a guy who went the alternative route and became as big as anybody in sports media.
I agree with you on the 30 for 30. It is a huge legacy. But to me, like, I think at the end of the day, we'll remember him, his draft column from, like his NBA draft column, I think will be on. Because so many people come up to me and say, don't you love reading Simmons? I mean, I feel like there was something, he's the first mainstream humor writer, in a way.
Surprisingly, I'm going to miss him on TV. I liked him on the NBA show. He would ask these questions that were just what a guy would ask. Like he goes, I remember the first day Magic Johnson was on the set. He goes, I can't believe Magic Johnson's on the set. Like he just said it out loud. He goes, I'm sitting next to Magic Johnson. He goes, what am I doing here? And it was like incredulous. And it's what you think you would actually say, but then you're like, good to be here with Magic Johnson. You have to be all reserved for TV. Bill just never either didn't get or didn't choose to participate in that professionalism of TV. He just said, I'm going to say whatever I think, and you take me off, you take me off.
Now, Seton, you guys have mentioned that he came up through the blogosphere and on podcasts. Is this a good example or a bad example for the sports world to follow?
Man, well, I think it is just what it is. I mean, I don't think the sports world really has a choice. I mean, podcasts and sort of people being their own one-man army, if you will, where they have their hands in a little bit of everything. It's sort of, it's the same thing that we do in a way, too, where Dan's got a column, a TV show, a radio show, the podcast, the whatever. So I think I think you have to at this point.
But it's interesting, everyone's looking for the next Bill Simmons. I know this from real conversation. I think it speaks to his talent that no one's been able to fully replicate it. Can you name anybody who's come anywhere close?
Again, it's almost like that plan has been done. So if you try to do it, he didn't do it on purpose. He fell into this. He didn't have some master plan, I don't think, that Bill, I'm going to be a superstar and a media mogul. I think he's like, I'm kind of a shy guy who wants to sit in his house and write whatever the hell I want.
Yeah.
And I think his plan is, and most people this won't work for, do whatever the hell you want and be almost like difficult sometimes. For 90% of the people who try that, they're going to end up fired and out of this business. So if you're 22 years old and say, I'm going to do whatever I want, not listen to bosses, you better be really, really talented. And even then, you're probably going to be out of a job in a couple of years.
Justin Bieber and Bill Simmons, there they sit on the mountain by themselves. All right, coming up, it turns out that two Danettes are filthy rich. You don't want to miss this. All right, you got millionaire money? No, you got thousandaire money. Go out and get yourself a Ram 1500 Eco Diesel. Any truck can climb a hill, haul a trailer, tow a boat, but not everybody has the most fuel-efficient half-ton truck on the road, and that helps these days. Get more facts at ramtrucks.com. Guts, glory, Ram. We are back here in the box score. Guys, it was kind of a crazy week in fantasy football. Even crazier was your guys' fantasy football effort. That's right. 3 members of the show finished in the money, with a pair finishing in the top 35 out of 1,000 in the league. My goodness. Let's start with the guy who walked away with a big check for $10 after finishing 3rd in the group. It's the boss. McLovin, you're in a fantasy football league with Dan Patrick and have been kicking his ass all season. Is this a bucket lister?
Yeah. No, not really. He's actually, to kill Dan in fantasy football? Come on. Because here's the thing, Dan's admitted, the closer you are to the real thing, me and Dan, being super close to the game, we're practically part of the Shield.
Insiders.
Yeah, the less you just know too much and you can't sort of bring it back to the level where you need to be to play fantasy football.
All right, well, next up, he turned the seasons around with the win last week, only to be banished to only to be banished to last place again. It was Todd Fritz. And you returned to our favorite storyline of the season. You drafted yet another player who registered less than a point, Tavon Austin. Fritzy, what the hell?
It was beyond embarrassing. I'm watching just a week before, I saw that I was like, 3rd, 12th, 19th, 26th out of like 1,000 people, and I was in the money and I was all excited. This was just terrible. Between the Jets defense and I had a Dolphin wide receiver and Tavon Austin, it added up to like 5.5 points for 1/3 of my roster. It was just like a total disaster. And I think I had like 62 points going into Monday night with Tom Brady, and of course the one week I played Tom Brady, he didn't do much either.
All right, someone grab that microwave popcorn. All right, let's shake that one off. We'll go to who finished 4th. That's Paul Pabst. Now, you got burned by your top 2 picks, earning less than 15 points combined. What is the hardest position out of all these to predict?
I would say tight end. Yeah, you could have a tight end have 2 catches for 12 yards or 11 catches for 150 and a touchdown. I actually did pretty well this week. I didn't get in the money, but I finished, I think, in the top 400. So I was pretty happy with my team.
All right, the boss finished 3rd, so that makes it on to the top 2. Losing out by less than 2 points was Seton O'Connor. Seton, you've gone Oakland receivers for the last few weeks, and it finally caught up with you. Amari Cooper going less than the point. Todd Fritzis there. Are you jumping off the Raider train?
Yeah, I am. And sometimes when I pick my team, I'm like, dang, I got a bunch of Raiders again. But they've played pretty well for me, so it's worked. But this week I was like, dang, I don't know. Should I really take Amari Cooper? And then should have gone with my gut, or was my gut instinct to take him? I'm not really sure now. Either way, I'm surprised that I had some really poor performers, but then I just had a couple of dudes who were kind of monsters for me, and it almost had me this close to taking out Pearl off here.
All right, man who is covering his gut with a cardigan right now. And the winner, McLovin, congrats to you. DP Show NFL Insider reigns supreme for Week 11. McLovin, are you hitting your fantasy stride?
I don't know. It was a good week. You know what's funny? Me and Seton had the exact same team minus about 3 players.
Yeah,
so we were all like, Danny Amendola got hurt last night. I could feel his pain. Yeah. Sort of like a psychic.
Oh, man, when they took that touchdown, took the touchdown away from him.
Oh, the inadvertent whistle. But it really just came down to, I had a kicker going last night, and you didn't. That's your mistake, and I edged him out.
All right, well, congrats again to McLovin, and don't forget to catch the box score FanDuel Draft Day, which is every Thursday, but tomorrow there is a special edition. Now, coming up, it is the ultimate Thanksgiving quiz. We are back here on the box score. Guys, Thanksgiving is upon us now. We could certainly have a quiz on how to properly deep fry a turkey, or perhaps who has won the most games on Thanksgiving days, but that's not us at all. What we have today is a game. It is called Pilgrim or Chief. You tell me whether they attended the first Thanksgiving dinner or they played for the Chiefs. It is row versus row, so here we go.
Awesome.
Back row is up first. Desire Minter. Desire Minter. Pilgrim or Chief?
Jebediah
Desire Minter?
Bundlecrass. Jebediah Bundlecrass.
It's got to be a Pilgrim, right?
Named Desire?
Desire.
I never
Go your pick, Fritzy. I want to hear that.
Named Desire.
There were strippers at the first
You
dinner.
think it's a football player? All right,
Yeah, go Pilgrim. I don't know.
okay, we're gonna say that was a Pilgrim,
They think it's a pilgrim.
not a Kansas City Chief.
You are correct.
Yes or no? How about that?
Nice. That was real time, real speed.
Front row. Resolved White. Resolved White. Pilgrim or Chief?
Resolved white. I have that paint in my bedroom at home. Resolved white. It's beautiful. It's a lovely shade.
Yeah.
Benjamin Moore.
Somebody actually has the first name Resolved.
That is absolutely
It's actually Ray
an
Solvald.
Indian tribe name. That is a person who was at the first Thanksgiving.
He thinks they were a pilgrim. Congratulations, absolutely. Back row. William Kershaw. William Kershaw, Pilgrim or Chief?
That tight end.
Never heard of that Chief either.
Here's a tight end.
Billy Kershaw?
Clayton Kershaw's
You
dad.
can sling it.
I don't know. You've heard of a Kansas City Chief? No.
Fritzy, you're rolling.
By this point, I think
You
they
think
would.
it's time to turn it over
Yeah,
to football?
Chiefs. Let's go football.
All right, we're gonna say Kansas City Chief on this one.
All right, they say he wasn't eating the pigskin, he was playing with it. Football player. Congratulations, sir. All right. Front row. The person in question is George Shorthose. George Shorthose, Pilgrim or Chief?
That is definitely not a porn star name. That'd be the worst porn star name.
Nice to work with you, Mr. Shorthose.
He's got to be a pilgrim, right?
George Shorthose, yeah, definite Pilgrim material.
All right, they say he was at the first Thanksgiving.
Not popular with the ladies.
I'm eating a banana. I'm eating a banana. 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 Banana.
Banano. Banano.
No.
That's a football.
Yeah.
Shorthose.
Yeah,
All right.
Shorthose was a.
Linebacker?
He was the tight end.
Yeah, it's pejorative. Back row. Gilbert Winslow. Gilbert Winslow, Pilgrim or Chief?
Gilbert really
Days
throws
go
you there.
by.
Sounds like a,
Pilgrimish.
Of the
sounds like a
Winslows.
cheap.
Yes,
Fighting
Family
Winslow.
Matters.
Gilbert Winslow.
Well, two choices.
Mr. Winslow.
What do you think?
We're gonna go Kansas City Chief, Gilbert Winslow.
All right, they think he played in Arrowhead. Are they correct?
I'm eating a banana. I'm eating a banana. 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 Banana.
I think that's the same shirt. Yes, we say banana. Yes, it is.
It's my go-to.
All
I
right.
have one flannel.
Front row, here we go. Please concentrate. The name is Bartholomew Allerton. Bartholomew Allerton, Pilgrim or
Definitely
Chief?
a pilgrim. Right? Bartholomew?
Nah, plugger, kind of a fullback.
Bart Allerton? Out of Kent State?
Bartholomew.
Bartholomew Allerton.
Because what if they went Bartholomew Scott? And Bart Scott, wasn't he an offensive lineman? Or Bart, who was it, Bart?
Bart
Oates?
Scott.
Bart Oates.
Bartholomew Oates.
Pilgrim.
They say he is a pilgrim, or was a pilgrim.
My time.
All right, congratulations to both. Everyone's a turkey today. It's a tie. We'll settle this next Thanksgiving. All right, don't go away. We are pregame and turkey day. But first, this is the box score, and we are taking a break to remind you that the Ram Heavy Duty, with its best-in-class towing torque and horsepower, has everything you need to get all those sides over to grandmother's house, over the river, and through the woods. It's gonna be a great time. It's gonna smell like mothballs. Guts, glory, Ram! We are closing up shop here at the box score. You know, since Paulie is part of this production, we are going Thanksgiving pregame show right now. Now, Paulie, I know you've been cutting back on your calories. What is your Turkey Day strategy?
Well, see, this is a weird one because as much as I love Thanksgiving, laying around eating and watching football is a holiday I'll sign up for. I'm not a big fan of turkey. What I'm not a fan of is poorly cooked turkey. If it's very well done, I think it's pretty good. However, I'm the stuffing guy. Whenever I host,
You're a sides guy.
I'm a big sides guy. I make my own stuffing and I put sausage in it. It was taught to me by my sister, of all people, and I stand by it. So that's my big thing. And I'm also a stuffing hoarder. Whenever I make it, I always put a little side for myself for later.
Who handles the gravy? Because
Good question.
If you're in a situation that could be very dry, and if you're not crazy about turkey to begin with, and it's dry without a little gravy on it.
Right. But you know what? The problem with this, people think that gravy is the end-all fixer. You should be able to go gravy-free. It's like barbecue.
True
You shouldn't have to put
story.
barbecue
Well
sauce on it.
said.
You know,
Well
if
said.
you need gravy for your turkey sucks. Back to you, Brock.
All right, McLovin, how about this? Are you playing any Turkey Day football, or is it going to be tea parties with the girls?
Oh my God, we used to play every Thanksgiving, but the old gang sort of
A
dispersed.
lot of them are in jail or dead.
Yeah,
right?
to be all serious, it's like,
Well, corporate crimes.
They're always
I
doing
mean,
two or
like,
three.
you got a lot of people who sort of went off to join like hippie communes, and even worse, a lot of people moved to New Jersey. Sorry.
Wow.
Yeah, it's rough.
All right, how
No,
about
we can't
Fritzy?
get the gang back together.
Fritzy, I've never heard you talk
we're just
about turkey or stuffing like that. Are you more of a Chinese food and pizza guy on that day?
My guess, Fritzy, your Thanksgiving, you're gonna lay low and just relax and hang at the house.
I could easily do Chinese food or pizza on Thanksgiving, but turkey's good. We're gonna get the in-laws are gonna be coming out, and the whole family will watch some football, eat some turkey, take a nice nap at some point when the tryptophan kicks in, and should be a good time with a lot of passing gas and burping on a couch.
I want to, yes, no question. Have you ever participated in any way of the cooking of Thanksgiving dinner?
I
That's a no.
That's a good question. I helped clean.
No, that's not what I said.
The cooking, no.
The cooking of Thanksgiving.
No, the cooking it did not, but I always try to participate in helping clear the table, and then hopefully.
Try to participate.
Now, when you say clear the table, do you take the
Okay.
do you take the dishes and just put them on the table or the sink and then walk back to your
Pretty
seat?
much.
That's okay.
And sometimes I don't even do that much. Sometimes, I'm already napping and drooling by that point. Or I'll say it in such a half-assed way, like, you don't need me to, you guys
Right.
got this, right? So I can go watch football and really not have to be part of the cooking or cleaning process if possible. So.
Now, Fritzy, is it family china, or is this china that you got maybe at your wedding?
This will be nothing too fancy. This will probably be regular family china. If we wanted to do paper plates, that would be fine with me. But I'm sure we'll do something a little more extravagant than that. But the fancy plates from like weddings and occasions like that, I don't think we've ever used those. That's just kind of for show in one of the drawers.
Will you show the bar mitzvah video on Thursday?
If requested. I don't want to force it down anybody, but if it happens to come up, or if any of the family members or anybody wants, if any neighbors happen to ring the bell with some pumpkin pie and want to see it, which would be very bizarre, we'll be glad to pull out the screen and display that.
Now, Paulie, have you deep fried a turkey?
No, I've been there when someone else did it, and it's pretty awesome. It's more crispy on the outside. It's not going to change, you got to still do it right. It's about timing and everything. I've never done it myself, but it sounds fantastic.
Kind of curious too.
We do it.
Do you really?
My cousin-in-law, my brother-in-law is from Thailand, and he does a deep fried.
Really?
Yeah, the Philippines, and he deep fries a turkey.
And cats.
Seeing one of your plans for the big day.
Well, mine a little unconventional. My wife tends to work on Thanksgiving, so I'll probably be some office floor having Five Guys burgers.
Oh, so you're not gonna have dinner with Dan, or maybe you will have dinner with Dan because he'll be in the city too.
It's possible I will have dinner with Dan.
God,
spoiler alert. Just saying.
Feelings getting hurt right now. Fritzy, who's on tomorrow?
Gary Danielson, Burt Reynolds.
Was Burt Reynolds asked to be in the bar mitzvah video?
He was not.
Wow.
Was Gary Danielson?
Gary Danielson was not
Wow.
either.
It's the first time we've had two guests that were not.
Pretty much, yeah. I hurt their feelings. Almost
In the
every
last
other,
year.
Yeah, in the
almost
last
every
year.
other human has
What a
been
streak.
asked.
Gary Danielson would have provided.
If we could
excellent
find one other
commentary.
human in sports industry who's not asked to be in the video and have
I
mine.
didn't ask Maurice Jones-Drew either. Not come to think
Wow.
of it.
Okay, all right, thank you, gentlemen. We are back tomorrow with a special FanDuel Draft Day right here on Audience Channel 239. The podcast is always available on iTunes or at podcastone.com. Cheers.
I don't know a lot about sports, but I can drink a lot of beer.
My motto is simple. C's get degrees.
Need a long, inappropriate hug? I'm your man.
I think I'm smarter than you because I probably am.
Hey, thanks for watching the box score. Holy cow!